Hello, everyone, and welcome. Just 1 minute ago, I have quit Warski Live. I've been faced with Andy making some paranoid interpretations of what I did, misrepresenting what I did yesterday. And so I don't feel like I can work with this man anymore. So today we can do a relaxed chat here. I will interact with the chat. I will also explain my experience at Warski Live and why I had to leave in the end. This was not staged, by the way, for those who are wondering. Uh, this was not planned at all. Uh, I felt it. I did feel that it was that he didn't need to say much for me to quit. And I think he said much more than I expected. And so it was more than enough for me to quit. It is not a joke. Hello, chat. Thanks for coming. So tonight, I will review my history with Andy Warski, and I will simply explain why I cannot afford to have my reputation linked to this man anymore. There are things that this man is asking of me that are not compatible with my intellectual principles. JF, work it out. No, I mean the problems that have been caused between me and Andy are not workable. Andy has a very loose conception of his ethical uh, principles and what is required to be respected on the public space. And so I cannot associate myself with him anymore. And I think there are great things ahead anyways. So Georgie Casson Music, $2 US says, it's about time you left low IQ Andy. So let's review the history of my employment at Warski Live. Drexel's PV, $5 says, good for you, JF. Love the intellectual blood sports, not the e-celeb fight. So I started being employed at Warski Live um, after a series of streams on which I participated to Warski Live following the Kraut affair. He lied and slandered your guest on the public space. He took $405 super chats, then defamed him. You helped, he made it worse. Absolutely. Problematic Bob, £5. I gave props to Andy for his response last night. His backtracking and failing today just confirmed the worst aspects of his character. Sad. Absolutely. It is absolutely ridiculous to be backtracking an apology. Once you've done the apology, you've done the hardest thing for your ego. Just keep it at that. It's perfect. And just zones, $20 US. Jeff, sometimes it's better to move on when the person you are working it with is listening to what other people say more than what you're saying. You will be bigger now. Change can be good. Absolutely. And I think I will be producing some content that will be much more interesting. So I started being involved on Warski Live after my interactions with the Kraut people when I owned Kraut on race realism. And then moving on to Jeff Holiday. And that's where Andy found me entertaining. And I was also I was having a positive impact on the stream because I was keeping people on point. And so he identified that talent and he hired me as co-host of Warski Live. At that point, Warski Live was not as big as it is now. Warski Live was regularly making just a few thousand views, whereas we've brought it to 40,000 views regularly, 60,000 views regularly, and the top episodes like 80,000 views, or even the Sargon and Spencer case, 500,000 views, although this one was exceptional. Josh Hill, $20 US. You did the right thing by leaving. LM, $5 US. Warski was manipulated by Tonka and failure. He is a rudderless ship at the whims of the wind. Also, his boss BS is so stupid and straight from Tonka. Oh yeah, I'm not surprised. There's not much that comes from Andy's brain itself. Andy just listens to people. and he repeats it in whatever way he feels is the best person to channel. Lulz Money 99, $5 Canadian. Hey, you got 35K subs now, enough to get the snowball rolling a bit faster. You got what you needed. Time to move on. Was fun while it lasted. Absolutely. Garmer 89, $5 US. I'm neutral on this, but I feel like Andy should have expected to be critiqued at some point based on your past. Will miss you on Warski Live. There's going to be other opportunities. In fact, I will launch the appeal right now. If anyone feels like they want to do a broad mainstream show with lots of viewer and a dynamic way of presenting news and presenting intellectual content, I am looking for a co-host. We can make something great. I'm thinking about all my friends, Aiden Paladin, Halsey, Nick Frontes. All of you are very good. It's not always that it will be fit with your lifestyle to do that kind of show, but if you want, we can certainly discuss. I'm open to discussing this. An Euro, $5 US. Can you have Patrick Little on as a guest on your show? He's pro-white, names the Jews, and is running against Dianne Feinstein in California, getting 18% right now. I'll think about it. I think that I will need tonight to just rest and think about what a future show could look like. For now, it's going to be my channel and my type of videos, but I'd love to think about a potential co-host who could take this forward. Zachary Survey, $20 US. I love ya, JF. No homo. I'm so sorry you lost a friend tonight, but it is his loss. You will succeed way farther than him. All right. So after the crowd episode, I started taking very seriously the idea of bringing success to Warski Live. So I worked hard to make it a regular show where there would be discussions occurring every time. And part of the difficulties was that Andy chose to go alt-right, open to the alt-right ideas, but when you do that, you have to face the fact that you will be rejected by the left. And so when you do that, you need to go all in. And you need to continue inviting people on the left, but people who are open, not SJWs who will deny your existence. And booking was doable at the beginning, and then at the then we faced a part where booking was getting harder and harder, but I was still being successful at booking some debates to maintain the show going, even if leftists didn't want to appear. Of course, I'm a old guy, I understand the business, and I knew this would happen. Your job when you're doing a show of that kind is to continue doing it no matter what. The show must go on. And so for a while, I ended up being the only one booking successful show because every time even Chris Warski was around trying to book a show, they would cancel. I knew that I could trust my guest, and I knew that the trust of the guest was a necessary ingredient for the success of the show. Not JF, €5. I was just about to send this money to Andy, but well, Andy just repeated talking points from other people from the community. Best of luck to you, JF. Monster Chief, 117, $5 US. Semi-related, Cantwell will not go back to jail. He had his hearing today. Thanks for being fair with him while Andy was defaming him. Fuck committee. Bruno AFH, $10 US. Warski is cancer. You were the only thing making it worthwhile. It is his loss, and you will soon realize this. You can only grow from the exposure from there. Chin up, LJF. Picker, $5 US. Please get Emily Eusis as a co-host or at least as a guest on a future show. Many people have talked to me about her. That's definitely interesting. I've not contacted her though. Happy Boy, sorry guys, $20 US. The Kraut and T saga was exciting because of you, not fucking committee, not all type, and definitely not committee. God bless Papa. $5 US from Wake Up You morons. Hail JF. Gorilla Radio TV, $5 US. Team JF, the true superstar, will be bigger than Jordan Peterson. Alba, $10 US. I look forward to what you will produce. You are a great guy. Much respect. Stein, $5. If Andy doesn't hire another intelligent host, he is done. You are the reason for this success. I will be strictly paying attention to your project now. Solid scrap, $20 US. Jeff, I am WE. We are with you. You are slash where the only draw to keep tuning in. Brian W., $5 Canadian. The Kraut and Holiday 24-hour ups finally got to Warski Live. Jeff and Kraut all are laughing. Leecher, $14.88. I unsubbed from Warski Live. Andy was LARPing as alt-right for the money. E. Fitzg, $100 Canadian. Jeff, you are much better without Andy and all that community BS. Best luck going forward, buddy. Yeah, sure. I think that it will help me focus on intellectual stuff and on producing content that you guys like instead of being imposed some drama going on every week. We will really go to the important issues. And thank you so much for the $100 donation. Andrew Rattle, $5 US. Damn, it's like my parents getting divorced all over again. Who's going to get me on weekends? All right, so where was I? So we had, at some point, Andy was so disconnected from his show that I had to essentially book all guests and make sure that the show was happening. And then Andy started spending a lot of time on the committee. I don't know if Andy was getting paid at the committee. I think that if he was getting paid a good amount, that was worth it. But intellectually, I saw that he was spending so much time there that he didn't have time to prepare for the night. Not only did he not understand the subject at hand, and to a certain extent, what could I say? I could say, okay, that's fair. If he doesn't like the subject, he doesn't have to do full research on it, but he wasn't even prepared in terms of hosting, in terms of directing the conversation, in terms of jokes. People don't realize, but someone like me who gets paid for something like this, I spend my day thinking about jokes, thinking about what can I pull that will lead to a funny interaction. And Andy, in many shows, was not even able to do that. Then Andy started really showing his emotional issues on the public space. And this led to series of debates being cancelled. One of them, I actually hosted the debate on my own channel. A group including All Type and I believe it was a bunch of race realists against a bunch of non-race realists. And it ended up being, I think, the video called Ethnostate Rumble. I'm not sure though. I would have to check. But anyway, there were 4 people scheduled, and Andy would just get on an emotional spree and say, "I'm canceling the show. I don't know who these people are." And I was like, "Well, you don't know who these people are because you don't get involved in the booking. But I'm maintaining the show with these guests, and you're ruining my reputation because I promised to these guests that they would be there." And so this led to a couple of strikes in my head where I was saying, okay, Andy does not care about ruining my public image, ruining my relationships with these people. He will just follow his whims according to his own emotional instability and how he felt. And mostly, and whenever I had these waves of emotional instability from Andy, it would very soon be realized that he had been convinced by spending hours on the committee throughout the day. He had been convinced that there was a bad direction for the show, which if it had come from Andy himself, I would have taken as a creative business relation where he says, I want the show to go another way. But knowing that the discussions on the committee were public, I had to I could go back to the committee and trace back to Tonka and failure. Uh, the IDs of Andy were actually all taken from other people. I think there's going to be lots of people to ban today. Let's ban this person, for instance. Yeah, for those of you who are mods, please go full ban if people are being insulting. It's not my goal to welcome everyone on this channel. So if you are a mod right now, feel free to ban anyone who's not contributing positively to this conversation. So it was already a little strike on me, but I was thinking that the relationship and the show itself was still worth maintaining. It was very successful. And so I continued despite the issues. Then we entered a part of Warski Live, which is for the last 2 or 3 weeks, where Andy wanted to redirect the show toward drama. And honestly, I've never opposed to that. I'm good on drama episodes. I mean, look at the Aaron episodes, look at the Baked Alaska episodes. I can produce jokes for these shows. And so I was fine. And most importantly, it seemed that it came from Andy. And so I was like, whatever comes from Andy, I will encourage it because I don't want a show of only intellectual discussion. Warski Live crowd is uh, is open to a broad set of things, and I'm a broad guy. I'm not like All Type. All Type does videos on race realism. I'm a broad guy. I'm interested in everything, and I'm interested in getting people on my channel to explore different ideas, even the most sewer stuff like LA Tots and stuff like this. First, people don't know that, but I'm a big fan of reality TV. I really love reality TV. I was a fan of Donald Trump back in the season 1 of Apprentice. So I love these things. Oh, I see a JF's a fag. Let's ban this person. Do, 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 do. All right. So I love reality TV, and I thought, well, if we're gonna combine this reality TV aspect, I'm gonna participate. I think I can bring a positive contribution, and then in parallel, I was also interested in let's keep it so that it's a lifestyle because people come back to watch us every 2 days. Let's do a little news segment at the beginning so that people are aware of what happened during the day. And sometimes I would actually go over 3 or 4 items of news. Sometimes I would use the news segment to just introduce the current subjects, launch a couple of jokes. There's lots of super chat coming in, so I think I'm gonna have to open my super chat window. All right, let's do that. Um, yeah, so but throughout these interactions where the show was changing, and I was fine with the changes to the show, I was also faced with the continued paranoid mind of Andy Warski, a man who does not have a connection to reality, who has a brain that is too weak to be properly logically representing the world outside of him. Andy Warski is a man without a brain, but the brain that he lets his friends shape. That's the nature of a social person like Andy. I'm totally at the other end of humanity. You cannot shape my brain. Uh, it's not even worth trying. Let me just go to the super chats here. I'm looking for the window. And so throughout the changes to the show and the Aaron events and the Baked Alaska events, I was getting disconnected more and more from Andy in terms of respecting him as a being capable of any sort of logical processing of reality. All right, super chat. My God, there's gonna be a lot to read. But I still thought that somehow we could make it work. Somehow the cocktail of our two personalities that he could get over it. Um, that being said, I still was concerned at keeping a base for our viewership, and our viewership had increased largely due to intellectual debates and particularly alt-right subjects. And so I was like, maybe there are alt-righters that enjoy drama. Maybe there are alt-righters that enjoy low IQ stuff, but let's not make them our enemies. And so what I thought is, okay, let's continue these drama streams when they happen, but I will keep this show. I will keep a backup all the time to have intellectual discussion. First, because we need to be loyal to our audience. Most of our audience is that. The super chat comes from people interested in talking about politics, white nationalism, and stuff like this. And so never deny your base. That doesn't mean we can't produce other stuff. But then this week, what happened is that there was no drama to cover. Or if there was drama, it could only make a segment, not a full show. And so I kept scheduling intellectual conversations. And in fact, tonight we had scheduled Drunken Peasants. I have Nick Fuentes writing to me in DM. I will tell, and Luke Ford also. I will tell them that I'm streaming right now, but they can join. All right, let's start these super chats. So where was I in my story? Story or super chat? Let's read a couple super chat, then I'm gonna continue the story up to tonight. All right. Peace Lily, $3 US. Jeff, you will be successful no matter what. Emmy, $2 US. I'm glad I don't have to watch Andy anymore. Nicholas, 20 sec. Press 1 for Aaron as co-host. Trues, $2 US. Good show if you DM the hotep at Vibe Eye at Andy Mayhem. I'm sorry I couldn't follow on your request and all, but I will be establishing an independent show and I will have more time to look at this. All right. John Doe, $2 US. Glad you dumped the dead weight, JF. Gorilla Radio, $5 US. Team JF, the true superstar. Thank you. Alba, $10 US. I look forward to what you will produce. Problematic Bob, £2. JO and JF, when? Leecher, 1488. I read this one. Notorious Pepe, thank you. eFits, thank you for your $100 donation. Binks Bowling, $2 US. Go on Nick and Stick Stream. JF, they want you on. I will not be going on other shows tonight. I would like this to be a full rendering of the events by me with the fan base. I prefer that. But they can come here. So maybe if you tell me sticks, I can send sticks. Alright, I can also send Ben from the Drunken Peasants. I will also send Sticks the invite. And go on your stream. Feel free to come to mine. All right. Continue super chat, then I'm gonna continue to the story leading up to today. Andrew Rattle, $5 US. Damn, it's like my parents getting divorced all over again. Who's going to get me on weekends? The news center, $10 Australian. I'm sorry about the news, JF. If Warski can't realize your video was just constructive feedback, then it's his fault, not yours. I wish you well. Commander Zoot Elsing, $2 Australian. What have I missed, JF? Oh, I just quit Warski Live. Solid Scrap, $5 US. Andy is about to eat so much shit, he really has no idea how much he needed UJF. Chad Sibken, $10 US. Sticking with UJF, Warski belongs with the likes of Ralph Retard. He is losing the only interesting part of his show. Ice Bane, $5 US. Just some sub from Warski's channel. Looking forward for your future content, Papa JF. Videum, $1. I just cried at your $1 donation. I often cry at big life changes, and that's fine. Sponge, $5, €5. I'm sad about the split, but Andy was getting worm tongued on the committee often. They amplified minor issues to fill time on their own show. Mula Viking, 50 knock. You tried to reform Andy, but he would rather be a man and an internet edgelord. Well done, JF. Love you. Lee Yates, $100 US. Thank you so much. Chuck Wepner, $20 US. Take my shekels. Long live the Team JF Master Race. Riverboat Joe, $5 US. Without JF, Warski's show will just be a drama queen circle jerk like it was before. Citronoid Kang, $10 US. Kudos, I like Andy, but he's a follower and depends on the qualities of others to overshadow his shortcomings. That much is easy to see. It was nice to watch you too, but this was inevitable. Good luck. Jade Westfall, $5 US. I don't know who would be able to replace you. The committee guys and Ralph aren't good. I hope you get another good partner. No girls and no Alze, please. I'm kind of tempted by a girl. You know me. Bicep Shogun, $20 US. And he still doesn't get that it's not about him, it's about the integrity of the show. I wish only success for your future endeavor. The only request I have is that you say the words guilty of high cockery. Guilty of high cockery. Burritos Man, $5 Canadian. I like you, Jeff, but you were kind of cocking him on his own show, and while I'm sure it was good for the show, I understand why he would feel the way he does. Well, sometimes good entertainment requires stepping over your feelings and putting the show first and the integrity of the show first. Didi Dogo, $20 US. It's sad that you could never get Cultured Tug on Warski Live. Maybe you could get him on your show. Hail Cultured Tug. Certainly, I will need to relax tonight, and I will get on booking people maybe tomorrow. I'm gonna take a break just to sneeze a little bit, and I'll be back.